Hello and welcome to the Vinyl Sanctuary. My name is Christian and I hope that you will join me in taking refuge in records. So I'm here today doing the first of a two-part series where I have decided to rank all of my self-titled debut albums in my vinyl collection. So I was inspired to do this by a video that was posted by a channel that I really love called As It Should Be. That's a channel based over in New York, and it's helmed by my favourite power trio of Paul Bertolino, Tommy Van Voigt, and Crystal Durrant. I pay tribute to those individuals in my introductory video to this channel because they were a pivotal influence on me in terms of wanting to start my own channel and to get myself out on YouTube and to start sharing my own passion for music. So those three people and the incredible community that they've fostered, that they've brought together from all over the world, it's just a truly wonderful thing. So I always watch As It Should Be's videos with keen interest, and I love nothing more than to correspond with those people in the community, many of whom now I consider to be very dear friends of mine. So that's where the idea has come from for this particular series. So what I decided to do was I looked into how many self-titled debut albums I had, and I had 60. So it was a really, sort of nice, sort of tidy, even number. And usually what I've tended to do on my channel is I tend to look at about 30 records within a given ranking. So what I've done is I'm gonna, in part one here, show you the 30 albums that didn't make my top 30. So I'm literally just going to hold them up, show you the front and back cover, because it's more of a talking point, really, just to create a little bit of interest in terms of, I'm sure there'll be people out there wondering why on earth I've not included some of these in my actual top 30. But it's all subjective, and believe me, it wasn't easy to do because I love these albums as well, but I wanted to try and test myself. And then in part two, what I'll actually do is present to you my 30 albums, but rather than doing what I usually do, which is to sort of show 25 of them that I would consider to be, of an equal footing, and then just give a top five of the bunch, I'm actually going to rank the whole 30. So that's something I haven't done before. That'll be a bit of fun, I'm sure. And I'm hoping to have that video uploaded next week. So I may try and record it ahead of time, but I'll get to that after I've obviously done this one. So the other thing I wanted to mention before I get into what I'm doing here today, just to be clear, is that in the original As It Should Be video, they didn't limit it to self-titled debuts. That's been my decision to do that. They were just looking at their favorite debuts, full stop. The reason that I decided to do it just on self-titled was because when I was going through my own picks for the channel, for As It Should Be, I was quite surprised at how many self-titled debuts were making it into my picks. And there are so many of them that are littered around. I mean, I only happen to own 60, but that's just my own personal vinyl collection. There'll be people out there, I'm sure, that own hundreds of self-titled debuts, or who've got bigger collections than my own. So it was just an interesting thing that I thought, there's so many self-titleds here that are making the cut, and they are truly tremendous albums as well in a lot of cases. So I just thought I'd kind of put that extra parameter on myself in terms of doing my own picks, and just to try and make it a little bit more fun, and just try and push the boat out. I think if I'd have tried to do just debut albums, then that would have been incredibly difficult, because I've got a lot more than 60 debut albums in my collection. I really marvelled at how people within the As It Should Be community had been able to not only narrow it down to sort of say 10 or 20 picks. I ended up putting 50 forward because I just couldn't choose between them. So people had actually ranked them, top 10, top 20. And the host of the channel did that as well. They actually gave a ranked 10, I think it was, and Tommy did 8. So in order to have had that editorial skill to be able to do that, which I found quite amusing, given that I do that for a living with words, I couldn't do it when it came to choosing albums. So interesting one, but I've made a go here. These are the 30 that didn't make my cut, so I have kind of maybe learned something from that original upload there from As It Should Be. So yeah, I just wanted to sort of doff my cap to them, because they definitely gave me the inspiration to create this particular vid. I was planning to do a review request, which I have got ready to go. It's a big album and I'm already starting to put my notes together for it, so I will get to that at some stage, but I wanted to just do this video sort of in between, just to make sure that I'm keeping up to date with content and hopefully giving you guys out there something to look at and something to talk about. So without any further ado, as I said, I'll just show these records off. I won't be talking about any of these in any detail today because I want to kind of make it quite distinctive that these were the ones that didn't make it. But obviously, anyone who wants to make any comments in the comment section about what I've not included in the final 30, then I would love to know what you've got to say, and I'm sure there'll be people out there that'll be thinking, you know, how or why on earth did that not get in? Believe me, it was tough, but I had to go with 30, and these were the ones that didn't make it. So they're in no particular order. I think most of them are just alphabetical because I've just pulled them off the shelves to show. So I'll just show the front and back, and then that will conclude the video. So here we go. Okay, so first up we've got yachts. Okay, then we've got the Water Boys, Visage, Van Halen, Ultra Vivid Scene, Tom Verlaine, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Suzanne Vega, Stray Cats, The Ruttles, The Royal Assassins, The Raincoats, Queen, Psychedelic Furs, The Pains of Being Pure at Heart, The Abusers, Lou Reed, Gram Parsons. So initials do count in terms of how I chose to include some. And there is an initial title in my final 30, so a bit of a spoiler there for you. So GP to me technically does qualify as being self-titled because it's simply his initials. So that's Gram Parsons there. Peter Gabriel, Marshall Crenshaw, Lloyd Cole, live albums count as well. So if it was a debut, self-titled, and it happened to be live, that was eligible for inclusion too. So Jane's Addiction, but it didn't make the final 30. It didn't make it. Hindu Love Gods, Fun Boy 3. Okay, so with this one, I have included it as one that missed out because it was actually released for the international market as a self-titled debut. Had originally come out in 1981 under a different title, which was Of Skins and Hearts, but then for the international market came out in 1982, self-titled debut, which is The Church. But again, unlucky not to make it into my final 30. Bob Dylan, Birdland, Alberto y los Trios Paranoias. And if you can hear that lapping sound there in the background, if it's picking up on microphone, that is my beautiful pet cat, Raymond Reddington, having a much deserved drink on what is a rather warm and muggy day here in the northwest of England. So you may hear Raymond there. Two more to show that didn't make it. So number 29 of the 30. 14 Iced Bears. And the final one, 10cc. Okay, so there we have it. The 30 self-titled debut albums of the 60 in my collection that didn't make it into my final 30. So that concludes my video for today. It's just a short, sweet one, just to kind of get the mini series up and running. I'm already expecting people to be wondering what on earth, with a few of them, I think, especially, that have got such huge reputations. And I mean, all of these albums will have the fans out there, of course they will. And I mean, I'm a fan of them all, otherwise I wouldn't own them. So it was extremely difficult to cut them. But, excuse me, I had to go with affection for the albums and how long they've been in my life. And, there's all kinds of considerations when you're doing these kind of things. Plus, ultimately, at the end of the day, it is just a bit of fun too. So if you've got any queries or comments or anything that you'd like to share about what I've shown you so far, then please do pop them in the comments. I'd really appreciate it if you did. I always endeavour to get back to people who comment as quickly as I can. If you've enjoyed the video today and it's the first time that you've maybe checked out anything that I've done and you'd like to join me in the future in taking refuge in records, then I would really appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel, The Vinyl Sanctuary. And if you choose to do so, that would be awesomely appreciated by me. And then you've obviously got the choice then to click the notification bell, which will keep you up to date of any further videos I've got landing. If you liked what I did today and you'd like to put a thumbs up on the video, then that would mean a lot to me too. So yeah, I'm already looking forward now to recording the final 30 video and actually ranking all 30 of them, which I'm still kind of finalizing in my head, but I think I'm pretty much there now. Pretty happy with the top 10, and I think the other 20 I need to have a little bit more of a think about. So anyway, video for another time. So thank you very much for being here today, really appreciate it, and until next time, bye for now.